Hello, Ms. Galifa. This is Zach Burns, and I'm going to be explaining the multiplication and distribution laws of exponents. And before I go into the math part of this, I'm going to go ahead and define these laws. The multiplication law is when a base with an exponent is exponentiated, taken to a power, then you multiply the exponents. That's the multiplication law. The distribution law is when a term outside the parentheses with no other operation sign is to be distributed or multiplied to all terms inside the parentheses. Now let's start with the math. We're going to start with the multiplication law of math. We're going to have x squared to the third power outside the parentheses, and we're going to go ahead and distribute that cube to the square and the x squared. See, unlike the addition law, we're going to go ahead and multiply these two numbers, the 2 and the 3, to form 6. So it would be x to the 6th power, because you're going to multiply these because this is outside the parentheses, giving you x to the 6th. One done. Next one, we got 4x to the 4th power. Outside the parentheses is a squared. So what are you going to do with that? You're going to do 2 times 4, since this 2 is outside the parentheses, to an exponent, and then something's going to change. Since we have a number that's not an exponent, this is going to act just like it would as if this x wasn't here. So it's going to be 4 squared. It's going to be 4 squared, excuse me, sorry. So 4 squared is 16, and 4 times 2 is 8. So it's going to be 16 x to the 8th. For number 3, we have 2x. We have 2x to the first power, outside the parentheses 2. So it would be 2x to the first, parentheses, squared. So this 1 doesn't have to be there, but no matter what, it's inferred since it doesn't have an exponent other than that. So we're going to start out with this 2 and distribute it to the variable and the number. So just like the last problem, we're going to do 2 squared, which is 4. And then 2 times 1 is 2, so it's going to be 4 squared. Alright, now let's go to the distribution law. Alright, this is where things get a little more tricky. So we have 6x cubed, open parentheses, 4xy minus 9y squared. So how we start this is we're going to start out with this 6x cubed, and we're going to go ahead and distribute it like any other distribution problem right here and right here. So what are we going to do from here? It's really simple. Since these both have x's in them right here, you're going to do the addition law on that since you're multiplying, alright? So, and then you're also just going to do like another multiplication problem or distribution. You're going to do 6 times 4, which is 24, and then x to the cube to the x to that inferred 1. So that's going to be 24 x to the 4th, and then y, since it didn't really mess with the variable. Minus 6 times 9, which is 54, and then the x cubed, since there's no x variable in this part, you're just put x cubed right there, and then leave the y squared by itself. So you're going to end up with 24 x to the 4th y minus 54 x to the 3rd y squared. Alright, now to move to a simpler problem. X squared, open parentheses, xy plus x cubed equals. Alright, so what we're going to start is just like we did the last one. We're going to take this outside right here and then distribute it right here and right here. So how are we going to do this now that we have no number on the outside? It's going to be a lot easier now. So we're going to do the addition property right here since there's an inferred 1. And so an inferred 1 right here. But since this y, the y is going to be left alone. So this is going to be x cubed y plus, just do the addition property again right here, which is going to be x to the 5th. So your ending solution will be x cubed y plus x to the 5th. Alright, last problem of distribution. This one gets a little tricky. Now we're having y as our outside variable, and it's going into 2 x's. For beginners, people don't understand how this would work because there's no y in the equation other than outside the parentheses. But this is how this works. It's actually really simple. You're literally just going to leave the x's alone. So your ending product will be, you're going to give a y to this variable and you're going to give a y to this variable. So it's going to end up being x squared y3 y to the third power plus x y to the third power. Really simple. Thank you for teaching me all this, Miss Gleason. I really appreciate you as a teacher. Thank you very much.